everybody, welcome to another fantastic broadcast with DJ Straight. And we are in Praise from the Closet. And today, I am so excited because I have a special guest coming on all the way from the West Coast. And as I stated before, we have a lot of different shows and things that we're working on with the station. Again, I thought you and encourage you to go to our website and listen WGMLB.com and hit listen live. And the reason I say that is because I am so kind of shocked that I am unable to play the music like I want to play. My license is only for my radio, so every now and then I'll be able to play a little bit of music from Facebook or YouTube or Instagram and things of that nature. But right now, I am going to bring to you our very special guest, and I am definitely I'm not stalling. I'm waiting for the electronics to catch up with each other. And once my electronics catch up with each other, then I'll go ahead and bring her in. So let me just tell you a little bit about some of the shows that we have. What we're going to talk about today is we have a show called What's Your Passion? Is it your career or is it your hobby? Now, some people spend thousands of dollars literally into their career because they want to be the doctor, the dentist, they want to be, and that's fine. And then others like us, we spend money on our passions, collecting cars, collecting cups, equipment, and things of that nature. And the reason that we're doing this show is because we want to just help somebody maybe decide that, hey, what passion do you want to do? What's your career? What is it that you like to do? Or maybe if somebody else is doing it, you say, wow, if they can do it, then I can do it. So that's where I'm coming from today. What's your passion? And right now, I am going to bring in our guest today. Our guest is the owner of CIKA Media Inc. And I am so excited because she took the time to come all the way from the West Coast via the internet. And I am simply we're just going to shoot the breeze for a little bit because she has so much to offer. And I want to give her this opportunity. Again, this is DJ Straight coming to you from Praise in the Closet. And one of our shows we have, it's called What's Your Passion? Is it your hobby or is it your career? And I want to say, Jessica, thank you so much for coming on to Praise from the Closet with DJ Straight. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Compaore. I am the CEO and the founder of a business I started in February 2020. Fun times. CIKA Media Inc., which is a digital content creation company that focuses mainly on social media marketing and management.
Great. So you said social media marketing and management. Now, yes. Before there was COVID, there was social media. But a lot of us had to start learning social media when everything shut down. So can you kind of just tell us what is social media in your own definition?
Oh, man, don't make me get my academic cap on. Well, one thing about social media that most people don't realize is that roughly in 2012 and 13, that's when it was taught in the colleges. 2010 is when they kind of merged to the scene. It didn't really get popular, at least in my personal opinions. People could say otherwise. Till like roughly 2015, I felt like social media really took off, especially for a business perspective, not a social perspective, not just hanging out. Everyone got Facebook and Instagram, more of a business perspective, I started seeing a lot of companies, corporate companies at first, really starting to use social media to really get their word out there. And then from 2015 to 2020, started to see it gradually get more popular, at least for interaction. And then 2020, dun dun dun, is when it really boosted up. But it was more of people, in my opinion, I feel like people are using social media now to really help with their businesses. The problem is there's no teaching out there, at least an affordable teaching that will help you learn about social media. So that's where my business comes into play. um, roughly around 2015 is when I started noticing a lot of people having these gaps, especially generation gaps, that you have people that have been working industries for years, but technology is maybe not their best friend and they're not even going to try. So you have millennials and the generation underneath me. We are kind of coming into the scene where we live and breathe this stuff. But funny enough, I'm seeing more millennials. I'm more of a younger millennial, technically. I'm seeing a lot of millennials, and they're like now reaching in their, I would say the oldest I'm seeing is the oldest millennials in their 40s. So they're the ones I'm noticing that are actually really demanding for help now. So they kind of go to a younger millennial like myself, or the next generation below that's, under 25 and below, things like that. They're coming to us because we live and breathe the social media. But my business really helps it. How do you take social media and use it in a professional standing? Where are the ins and outs professionally to use social media? That's the part where I feel like there's a gap. And my business comes in and starts teaching.
Let me ask you this then, before we keep going.
Oh, yeah.
A while back, there was MySpace.
Lord.
Like, seriously, could MySpace be considered something like social media, or that was just something new? And now, and then as you segue into what you do, because I was reading a little about your business, and you stated that we can design your thoughts. What does that mean? And so we design it. So talk about space. I'm going to say Space Jam, but MySpace first a little bit, and then talk about your company and what made you get involved into doing that and things of that nature.
Oh man, yes, you brought the good stuff. So MySpace, I like to call it the dinosaur beginning of social media. MySpace really, in my opinion, my professional opinion, is kind of what started the idea of social media being stronger. Then you had Instagram, you had other early apps that came into the scene that, started transforming how we look at social media. But this was the biggest picture. Now, this is the key, right? So MySpace did have a lot to do with internet and the computer. But what really changed the game was this right here, the phone. When the phone became a smartphone. Think about it. Smartphones, when they really started to kick in and develop, that's when apps started coming into the scene. More apps started coming to the scene. That's when Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all the apps you could think of, they kind of really came more into the scene on the phone. And that's how it really exploded. That's really how, from MySpace with the computer, then we had Facebook. Don't get me wrong. I remember Facebook kind of in my early teens, 17, 18 years old. That's when I kind of got introduced to Facebook. I wasn't doing much. And then I had an Instagram, but wasn't doing much with it because it was like, what are these tools? Early stages, right? Like I said, once got into college and then once between that 2015 era, but I would want to be more specific from 2012 to 2015. And that was the era when the phone, in my opinion, started to really get bigger. That's when social media took it a whole new level because the courses that I took in classes was mobile and social media. So mobile, EI, the phone, that's where all the power is coming to the scene. And then social media has just been really taking the next level, coming from the computer now daily on your phone, where you can just do everything on the phone. Which that goes into the next segue. Why I love what I'm doing.
Hold on 1 second. So today, Gail King was talking to Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, and they were talking about something totally different. And Gail mentioned, because I thought about you and I talking tonight, she mentioned that she was talking to, I believe it was Steve Jobs, and she said he told her, one day you're going to be able to take your telephone, your cell phone, take pictures with it, and type on it. And she said, I didn't believe him at first. She said, and look at what we do. And just like you held your phone up, which is a good segue, we do so many things, and they're big, and you look at your face, and that
Oh
comes
yeah.
on, or this, whatever.
Yeah.
So go for it.
No, you're right. And the biggest thing too you got to consider with the phones is the cameras. The cameras are a huge thing. Our phones probably have more high def cameras than if we went and bought out a more fancy, like high def professional camera. Our phones carry very nice cameras, most of our phones. So that segues into why I got into what I did. So it really goes back to my college days. Like I said, I first started in college with doing art and design. So art was kind of my passion. I love doing art design, graphic designing. I'm an artist at heart. But then I was like, this ain't gonna make enough money for me. I mean, this is just not, I don't know. I'm like, wait a minute. There's gotta be another creative way to use art. I just there was an urge, but I couldn't figure it out. Went to hospitality. Love being in the kitchen and cooking. Listen, it's exhausting as a job. I am not doing that. I'm no. Good job to have in college while you go through college, but not, in my opinion. Some people for a career, fantastic. For me, I was like, I'm good. I really want to get into technology. Then turned into the department at MSU Denver, technical communications. It's called something different now, but technical communications. When I saw that at Word, I was like, ooh. Really? And then when I saw the course that opened up of mobile and social media, I was like, oh, that's got to be the career I got to go for, because two things came to my mind. One, the phone's going to keep, I know for a fact, because I have my brother-in-law works for phone companies at the time. He works for Samsung. And so from what I understand about phones is that phones are going to keep advancing. We're all going to need it. It's going to be the one thing that's going to keep us moving and grooving and operating. Two, you can't go wrong with social media, because social media is going to keep increasing. And one thing I was mentored by some of my mentors is they were like, get into an industry that is going to grow or is going to keep developing. That's the kind of industry you want to be in. And I like the idea of development and change consistent, because that's what, for me, it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me looking young like this. So, I mean, that's my opinion. But time went by, then I started noticing, so I got into the courses, really loved understanding the phone. I love understanding the analytics that go into social media. People don't understand the amount of analytics that goes into social media. There's a lot of it. And then I started really getting into Google, learning about Google, how Google at this point was becoming more than just a search engine. It was becoming more of, it was going to be more of an app, a software, somewhere that people can use. It was going to be something more powerful, and it definitely has grown into that and continues. There's other softwares as well. Those are just my personal favorites. So I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Here is definitely an industry that's going to grow. I like the idea of being a tech. I've always been into technology. I've always loved computer work. I've always loved doing the ins and outs of stuff. It's just fun for me. So then as time went by, I get more and more passionate. The idea of having a business started to flow by in my mind in 2015. But I'm like, now I told myself I need to come up with a plan. And as everyone knows, everybody knows, this is my cute son in the background, my adorable son, Michael Compaore. So yes, I am a single mother, and we keep it rolling all the time. Can you give me a second, my love?
No.
Okay, he's gonna hang out with us, guys. So anyway, no, thank you, baby. Okay, give me a second, love. So anyway, 2015 comes into the scene, and before you know it, I'm like, I want to do a business. I started talking to people around. I started kind of floating ideas, and I said, I want to be a business that combines kind of social media, but also the attitude and the professionalism, like a cable company. I know it sounds really strange, but then act and operate on social media like a radio company. So I was taking all these little different things, and I was kind of morphing into what I want to one day call CIKA Media. Now, funny story. The name CIKA Media, let me explain how that came up.
Okay, that was on my list.
I know, I felt it. So I was like, so how the name came up is, first I'm like, well, I want to come up with a catchy name. I want something to be fun, but something to represent me, because I knew if I do this, this is going to be something that's going to hopefully, and I want to say for sure, it is going to revolutionize how we look at social media in a professional standard. So I'm like, all right, I got to be really crafty with it. So I was working at a restaurant, working around some of my coworkers, and I was like, I got to figure out a name. So then I'm like, let me look up, and I said, you know what? I want the name to be original. So let me look at my name, Jessica. And I'm like, what, Jessica's Media? No, that's boring, or this and that. Then one of my coworkers was like, well, what about CIKA? What about take the last part of your name, CIKA, SICA. So it started as SICA, as CIKA, but then I'm like, let me really morph this around. How can I say it in a different way? I love to like mess around with words and names a lot. So I'm like, CIKA. And I said, it kind of sounds like a C, because I wanted my name to be short and sweet. So wherever it goes, it's very easy for people to flow out of the mouth.
Memorize. Okay.
All right. So then I took the name CIKA, and I'm like, let me just mess with it. And it morphed. At first, when I started kind of showing myself on social media, especially Instagram, it started out as SICA. And then that didn't work because that name actually was taken. It's an insurance company. So I'm like, shoot, that's not going to work. So then I tried again, and CIKA was available in 2018 is when I kind of registered the name, saved it on the side. I'm like, let me register my name. Let me secure my name. So when I'm ready to go live and really push,
that's right.
So then the birth of CIKA Media Inc. because I had to add media in there because it's not just social media. We take care of all angles of media. But really, we specialize in social media with the marketing and the management piece. So
okay.
So yeah, so that's how that came to be.
Wow, that's pretty interesting because I guess there's so many social media groups or so many avenues to get your point across. What makes CIKA different than all the rest? Of them. What's going to make me search you out and say, oh, I've got to go, other than your beautiful smile and your personality, but what's going to make me come and say, oh, I want that person. I want that group.
Ooh, good question. So I would say two things is what makes me stand out. One, I am extremely customizable to each and every client. If I had you as a client and I had another client that's radio, you guys are going to be two separate clients. And because I have the background of graphic designing and that artistic thinking, I know how to break it down and be able to separate and make you stand out and customizable in your own way. And one big thing is that, and it's something I don't see a lot with social media people, I mean, few in between, but most of the time, I actually come to events. I am physically present. You physically see me. I actually come to your events. I actually do social live media streaming. I actually get engaged with the client more than just, hi, my name is, right over the phone, or being on the computer and meeting virtually, or just doing everything kind of online basis. Even though I'm all about online, I actually physically come to you. And I actually physically get to know you. I really try to understand how you operate, how you're wired, and I just cater every inch of customer service to that client, because that, at the end of the day, that extra care goes a long way into social media than people think. And that's what makes me stand out.
So let me ask you this. Now, I've had the opportunity and the extreme privilege and pleasure to sit up under your tutelage as I attack the social media. I'm on the East Coast and you're on the West Coast. Now, from my own personal experience, when I'm working with people in different states, I can do everything up to a certain point. And like you, I'll come and visit to the event or whatever. What would be your strategy, or how do you do that if you're on the West Coast and say someone wants you in Atlanta? How does that work?
So the magical world of video comes into the play. So most of the time I deal with clients over the phone, vice versa. But if they are, and I actually do have a couple clients that are in South Dakota, a couple in California, few in Houston, Texas. So for them, that's where I get really, really organized. And I set up a time with that client and I set up clear subjects, clear things we got to go over, so we ain't wasting each other's time. I keep it very, very professional, and that's one thing that, as social media specialists, we really got to keep it up. We really need to hold that high over our heads, because it means a lot. Because people don't think, at least the people I've interacted with, they see social media and they don't think people are very serious in social media. Oh no, we're fun people, but like myself, I lived it, breathed it, studied it. I have a very deep insight of social media where I'm like, I got to be professional because I really want to educate people about social media. It's not just something that click, take a photo and send it off. No, use some strategies when you take a photo. Put a hashtag, put a proper saying in there, maybe add the location. There's all kinds of strategies that goes in social media. It's more than just sending it out. So if I have somebody on the East Coast, we would do virtual Zoom calls. I do a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of Google Meets, and I make those meetings exciting. Think of it as a conference, but just with me. And you have had the experience, actually.
Yes, I have.
So just like how we, yeah.
And I was just going to say, I mean, it's remarkable. And honestly, I don't know how much that you actually are willing to teach people, but let me do this. Let me put up your contact information. Let me tell you something. This is DJ Straight, and I'm talking to Miss Jessica from CIKA Media Inc. You want to give her a call at 336-939-6831, or you want to give her an email, send her an email at sikamediainc@gmail.com. You want to be able to glean and learn from her. She is well versed and experienced. She didn't just happen to get in this business hobby overnight. She has spent some years in this. And from my own personal experience, I thought I knew some computer softwares and things, but when I started delving into this and then learning from Jessica, it was like, oh boy, I got a long way to go. I wanted her to come on the show because, we were talking about what's your passion, your career or your hobby. Now, Jessica has a whole nother side. She is actually an educator. But I would have never known that she was an educator because she does so well in the social media. So I'm going to put the numbers and her email information back up. But I want to continue the conversation for a few minutes more and just let her go ahead and expound on, talking about some more social media, or even if she wants to share something else with us. Because again, for those of you all that are listening, and this will be on the radio tomorrow, you may not know what you want to do. And you don't have to wait until you graduate from high school or college. You may be in your 60s and want to learn some social media, because this is the now. We're going to be Zooming and Googling and what is that thing? Microsoft Teams and all these other avenues for the rest of our lives, as long as we have electricity. So I will turn it back over to you, Jessica.
Awesome. Well, yeah, no. So pretty much, thank you for bringing up the educator part. So that's the biggest key. I feel like separates me a little bit too. Going back to what separates me is I did some heavy studying in social media, and I did a lot of learning and teaching in it. Got coached by amazing people. But I would have to say my biggest experience was, from 2018 when I kind of confirmed my name, and then in 2019 I started making up a plan. I said, okay, starting 2020, which was not a good idea, but it's fine. 2020 came around, and I said, okay, when I launch, I'm going to start launching hard. But before that, this is what I recommend to anybody who does hobbies, a hobby for a career, or you're trying to figure out your passion. I say this: give yourself at least a year to find close friends of the family that you can start practicing doing your work. So you can do a lot of trial and error. I can tell you right now, I am not as good as I am now. That was due to a lot of practice, because that 1 year I took a lot of practice. Let me believe you. one year I took that time I had some private clients that I worked with, but at this point it was just more of like kind of making it a hobby, kind of making it a project. Yes, I was being compensated, but not a whole lot, because I didn't, I wasn't ready. I wasn't fully ready and open. But I was like, let me just grab a few friends and families that I can start doing some test results with to figure out how would my business operate. Because once I open, who knows who I'm going to get, and I'm going to get completely different careers, different people, industries, different backgrounds. But I need to make sure I am prepared for any glitches that come in the scene. So I have to say, I think I prepared myself for about 75% of the glitches. Then the rest, I knew that was just going to have to be more experience coming into the scene, because I can't predict everything. But I have to say I was very surprised that after the 1 year I took time, had a few clients, kind of figured some things out, definitely a lot of trial and error, became more of a personal expertise with the community, with people, with clients. Then by 2020, I was like, let's blow this thing up. I'm ready to go. And then since then, geez, I had a lot of people. I was thinking 2020 was going to be a nightmare. It wasn't going to work. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Here's the pandemic in the scene. Absolutely not. Complete opposite what I got. I got floods of people coming at me. Hey, I need you for this. I need you for that. Oh, I need help with my social media. And then I was like, holy cow. It was like a huge supply and demand. So I had to act quick. I had to get my prices right. And I would have to give a shout out to Dixon Publishing. They're an amazing company. And if it wasn't for them kind of helping and navigating me, I definitely would not be as successful as I am now. And I will tell folks, biggest thing, test drive what you're going to do for a while. Have close mentors, business people you trust that you can talk about your hobby or your career with or your passion with, so they can help navigate you out. Is this passion really going to make me some money or be legit, or is it something just kind of fun every now and then on the side? For me, this was more than a fun thing on the side. This was like, I want to revolutionize social media. I want to revolutionize how we act, how we look at it, how it is. I want to make this a business. I want to do workshops. I want to educate folks even further, because there's a demand, and I will meet that demand no matter what.
And speaking of social media, and I know you will, as you said, you in 2020 you started out. Now, a lot of your business, did it come from word of mouth, or did it come from people actually seeing your work?
I would have to say it was a little bit of both.
Okay, good.
It was both. So definitely word of mouth was a powerful strong suit. A lot of my clients I still have today were referrals. Referrals are a big thing for my business. And then seeing my work was a little tricky, because the work I do, it's kind of, well, first of all, I'm the main person. I am the employee, the boss, the marketing. I wear 50 hats. Okay. So it's a little hard to kind of promote myself when I need to focus over here. But that's where I go back to what makes me different. I actually attend to people's events. I actually physically show myself, and people see my phone. I think I might have a picture on my Facebook somewhere, which I would love to display real quick. On my Facebook, there's a photo of me, which I love this picture. I have the camera hanging down low, my professional camera, but then I got my phone in my hand. Of course, my son holding my hip as usual. And that is probably the best display of social media, because it's a combination between using the phone and using the professional camera. Which actually, yeah.
This won't be your last time. This won't be your last time on WGMLB. I wanted to bring you on because, like I said, I've had the pleasure of just listening to you and learning from you in such a short time. I think I started over a year ago, and I held on to everything you gave me.
Yes,
and then even recently, I'm learning some things, but this certainly won't be your last time, and maybe the next time you come on, because I don't want you to just come on and then people take from everything that you're doing. I want them to be able to, hey, contact at 336-938-6831 and say, hey, I've got something coming up and I need your help, and even to email you. So I just wanted to the audience, I wanted to introduce you all to Miss Jessica, and I just refuse to pronounce your last name, because I'm just not going to mess it up. But if you notice that, But again,
Compare. Give us
Compaore, okay, Spanish.
there you
So
go.
I,
Finish.
I wanted to bring you on because WGMLB is a new radio station, internet, and it's going to be off the chain eventually. And we don't just play music. We're gonna be nationwide, global, and this is a station that's promoting, helping each other, helping others. And I wanted to bring you on. So again, contact Jessica at 336-939-6831 or email her at sikamediainc@gmail.com. And Jessica and Michael, I want to thank you all for coming and visiting with us on today. And for those that were unable to get it Facebook, because I'm still learning social media things as well, this same broadcast will be on WGMLB.com. Listen live tomorrow afternoon at 3:45 Eastern Standard Time, but it's on. And then we will also upload it to our YouTube channel, DJ Straight. Again, so thank you, Jessica, for visiting with us on today. And
No
our
problem.
what's your passion? So obviously, your social media is your passion, and the educator is what you do to help with your passion. That's what I tell folks. I got a need job, and that need job helps with my passions. So
Yes.
again, thank you very much. Any parting words?
No, only last thing I want to say, if I can just share my screen, which I will, I just say definitely check out my Facebook page. Like you were talking about my examples, I've been really good about really showcasing
Share
my
your
stuff
screen if you can.
and things I do. So I really want to let me share the screen right here.
Sure.
And I will. So anyway, definitely, like I said, check out my Facebook page. It's just I display a lot of my work through my Facebook page, and if you guys see this right here, this is the lovely little page, and yeah, definitely check it out. I keep it posted. I put fun little tips about Colorado in here. I try to make my page exciting. Upcoming events I got going on that I help. I'm actually I support and I promote. And then of course I've been featured this year at the 5th annual Colorado Dashiki Day, which I was surprised with this. So
Okay.
they have featured me in this event because I've been their media person promoting the word, and they've been getting a lot of help. So they're an awesome group of team. And like I said, just check out my page, check out the things I do, and it'll be good stuff. So yeah.
What about that picture you wanted us to see? Are you able to get that picture?
Let me see. Oh man, it's an
Without giving away
old.
all your secrets.
I know, right? Reveal it all. Reveal all the secrets. Let's see right here. Let's see if I can try to find it. It's got to be in here somewhere. I have posted so many photos over time. It is crazy. Oh, and yeah, so you guys can see. Oh, what? I didn't do it. Let's see. More photos. Oh goodness. Well. And see, actually, you know what? That picture I want to show, but this is also a really cool picture. And this is actually me showcasing social media strategy. So I kind of put the social media expert and then my teaching background into the scene here. So I'm very proud of that photo. That's one of my favorite pictures. And let's see if I can find that photo was that photo was in my early stages of working. I've built it up since then.
To do a comparison.
Oh yeah, it's crazy though. If I look at this picture, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was like a year ago when I had taken this photo. Let's see. Oh man, this might take a hot second because this is probably buried all up in here. Let's see. Let's make this faster. Let's use some thinking skills here. Yeah, y'all, it's gonna take a hot second. It's hiding in there somewhere. Oh, you know what? I'm just kidding. I know where we can find it. I know a perfect place where we can find this.
And we will.
This is actually my Instagram.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'm going to put your information in here again. So in case somebody just, needs your services.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
You can also email Gospel Music Lovers Buffet if you need to get in contact with Jessica. If you don't have time or have a pencil with you, you can also contact the radio station, Gospel Music Lovers Buffet, or you can give us a call at 202-322-2470. Again, I am DJ Straight, and you are entering into Phrase from the Closet with,
Let's
excuse
see
me,
here. Sorry.
with What's Your Passion? What's your
Here
passion, your hobby, or your career?
here we go.
All
This is
right,
actually
you
going to
ready
be
for
loud
it,
and
Jessica?
helpful. Yeah, I'm ready here. So I'm actually going to display my my website, which you have showed many times, but my website is kind of my voice here. Um, and of course, that one picture I really want to show you, I think it's just like buried in my Instagram account. So I recommend everybody. Oh no, here it is! Yay, found it! Yep. So here we go. Here it is. This is a photo early stages in life. That yeah, there we go. Yep. This is when I first started
Oh,
out.
okay.
That was my son. Yep. So these pictures on my website. Yeah, if you go on my website, CIKAmediainc.net, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, these are going to be some early photo pictures of kind of how I got started. I love to have them there, but I started in doing political campaigns. And so, yeah, that was me, phone in one hand, camera below, my son way down there thinking he's getting a picture taken. Hey, goofball. And
Well,
then,
Michael will probably end up getting into something as well.
oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that's what he's around.
Yep. And then, oh yeah, and then yeah, you have pictures of me holding the phone, camera again. Here's when I was the first time teaching some young entrepreneurs, teaching them about the social media calendar, which is something very crucial. So I was kind of doing some early teachings there.
Okay.
And let's see here. Let's see. Oh, here we go again. Me with the camera, trying to look all cute and whatnot. This is me actually coaching. This is me actually doing a fashion show, and I was doing some coaching for a video shoot. So social media, you have to understand, it only doesn't contain just the phone. If you use the phone, you need to have a video productive background. You need to have a graphic design background. You need to have an IT background, because those three things you have to constantly deal and work with, because you got to learn how to do video production. You got to learn how to do graphic designing. You also need to, if there's an issue, which is social media has problems at times, you got to be able to break it down like an IT person and how to handle it like an IT person. So it's many slews, but yep, this is it right here. This is my page, and I highly encourage everyone to go to my website, CIKAmediainc.net. Check out my page. If you need services, want to hear from me, contact me. This would be the go-to page. So it's good stuff.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
No
Once
problem.
again,
No
thank
problem.
you, Jessica and CIKA Media Inc. for being our special guest on What's Your Passion? Your career or your hobby? And Jessica will be back very soon, and we will give her an opportunity to even speak further. And again, her numbers, her information is there to contact her. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. This is DJ Straight from Straight from the Closet, signing out from our special guest. It's Jessica. And I'm not going to mess up her name again. Thank you very much.